Hello to this new tutorial of the series Data Mining Concepts and Techniques. Today we will see classification and prediction in detail. It is very important to know how classification and prediction work, and today's session is all about that. So let's get started. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe to channel for latest updates. So today's topic is classification prediction. It is divided into number of subtopics which we will cover in the further videos. So what is classification and what is prediction, that we will see first. Then we will see issues regarding classification and prediction. Then classification by decision tree induction. So this we will see in today's session. Before going to start what is classification and what is prediction, we need to know the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning. These two terms are new to you, that's why I will discuss this two terms first, then we will see the next part. Supervised learning in classification means what? The training data are accompanied by labels indicating the class of observations. So there is a training provided to the given model in supervised learning. So in supervised learning we have the historical data set, and according to that data set or according to the sample we will train the model. According to sample we will train the model and we will classify the label according to that. So the new data is classified based on the training set. So there is a training and testing, these two sets are there in supervised learning. So if new data comes, that data is classified based on the training set. And in unsupervised learning or in clustering, the class label of training data is unknown. There is no historical data present for the training. So given a set of measurements, observation, etc., with the aim of establishing the existence of classes or clusters in the data. So according to the data we will have the cluster, and according to cluster we will do the operation. This is the unsupervised learning. Basic difference is in supervised learning there is a historical data present for the training, and in unsupervised learning there is no such historical data present for the training. So supervised learning is basically used for the classification, unsupervised learning is basically used for the clustering. Next we will see the classification versus numeric prediction, that is classification versus prediction. As the term suggests, classification what does it does the it separates the labels, class labels. So the predicts categorical class labels, that is in two forms, discrete or nominal. Classifies data, that is constructs a model based on the training set and the values, that is the class labels, in a classifying attribute and uses it in classifying new data. This is the classification. So according to the class label we will classify the data based on the training set and the values. And if the new data comes, then it does the numeric prediction. So models continuous valued functions, that is predicts unknown or missing values. So according to the testing it does the prediction. But for the prediction there should be a training set also, and according to training set it will train the model and it will do the prediction based on the training set. So what are the typical applications of the classification or the predictions? The first very important is the credit or loan approval application. Then the medical diagnosis, for example if a tumor is cancerous or not. Then the fraud detection, if a transaction is fraudulent. And one of the application is the web page categorization, where which category it is, that will be predicted with the help of these applications. So these are some of the very important applications of classification and trading. Then the classification, a two-step process. As I have told you that the classification is divided into two parts, the training and testing. So the training is generally a model construction where it describing a set of predetermined classes. Each tuple or sample is assumed to belong to a predefined class as determined by a class label attribute. The set of tuples used for the model construction is training set. The model is represented as a classification rule or decision trees or mathematical formula. So this is the model construction. There are different algorithms used for defining a model or for constructing a model. So according to that algorithm, training set is trained and the model is constructed. Then the second step in this two-step process is model usage. It is used for classifying future or unknown objects. That is, it uses the testing set, that is, it estimate accuracy of the model, how accurate this model is. The known label of test sample is compared with the classified result from the model. Accuracy rate is the percentage of the test set samples that are correctly classified by the model. Test set is independent of training set, otherwise overfitting. If the accuracy is acceptable, use the model to classify data, tuples whose class labels are not known. So I will give one very important and well-known example of stock market prediction. So in stock market, every day there is a different value of the particular stock in the market. That value will go or will lower. So we have the historical data, and if you want to know the tomorrow's or day after tomorrow's stock value, particular stock's value, then what we will do? We will do a classification. So in this, the model is constructed likewise. We will take the historical data, that is previous days particular stocks data, and we will construct the model according to that using different algorithms. And if you want to predict the tomorrow's particular stock's value, then we will assume some of the value of tomorrow's, and we will use the model which we have trained earlier, and then we will get the result that whether this stock will go high or whether it will go low. So this is the two-step process of classification. Then the diagrammatic view, and the another example is given here. The process one is model construction. As I have told, there is a training data. So for this training, this table is given here. The Mike is assistant professor and it has a he has a experience of 3 years. So the result is no tenured. Mary is assistant professor, has 7 years experience, so it has a, or she has a tenured. Likewise, this data is given. So according to this, what we will see here, we will use the classification algorithm, different classification algorithms and different classifiers and models, and this will give the formula that is, if rank is equal to professor or years, experience years are greater than 6, then tenured is equal to yes. See here, the assistant professor has the 6 or more years of experience, has yes tenured. Then the professor, which has the 2 years of experience, also has a tenured yes. So the two conditions are here: rank is equal to professor or experience years greater than 6. Then it will classify to yes tenured, otherwise it will classify to no tenured. Then the second process is using the model in prediction. We have trained the set using earlier table. So now we will just use this model to predict some of the tenures. So if new data is Tom, which is a assistant professor and has experience of 2 years, then we will give the answer as no, because our formula is experience. If it is a assistant professor and experience has 6 or more years, then tenured is yes, otherwise it is false. If professor, then the tenured is yes. So this is predicted by our model. Okay, but you can see here this prediction, second records prediction, is wrong here. So the accuracy of our model is 75%, because out of 4 records, the 3 records prediction is correct, but the 1 record prediction is wrong. Okay, so testing data is here according to classifier or the formula which we have constructed in earlier model. We will use this for unseen data and we will give the decision about the tenure here. Okay, this is all about the what is prediction and what is classification. Now we will discuss issues regarding classification and prediction. What are the different issues in classification and prediction? So the first issue generally is data preparation, where in data preparation, you know, the data cleaning, relevance analysis, data transformation. These terms you have seen in earlier videos of this series, data mining concepts and techniques. If you don't know this term, then please do watch the earlier videos of this channel. Okay, you will get to know all the terms. In data cleaning, it pre-processes the data in order to reduce noise and handle missing values. So this will be a issue in data preparation. Then the relevance analysis, which is also called as a feature selection. In removing the irrelevant or redundant attributes, this will give a issue. Okay, then the data transformation, the generalize and normalize the data. This may be a issue in data preparation. So these are the issues related to data preparation. Then there will be a issue in evaluating classification methods. Which method to use? This is the big question in the classification, and how to evaluate these classification methods is the main issue. So according to accuracy, according to speed, robustness, scalability, interoperability and other measures, we will use these classification methods. So if we consider the accuracy, classifier accuracy must be there or predictor accuracy must be there. What is classifier accuracy? Predicting the class label is the classifier accuracy. So how correct this model is predicting the classifier accuracy is one of the issue. Then the predictor accuracy is guessing the values of predictor attributes. So this is very important. Then the next issue is speed. About the speed, time to construct the model will be different for different models. So training time is one of the issue. Then the time to use the model, that is the execution time or prediction time, is different in different examples. So this is the issue. Then the robustness, that is the handling noise and missing values, this will be a issue. Then the scalability, if we take the example of scalability, there is a issue in efficiency in disk resident databases. So if we scale up our system, then the storage problem will be there. So this is the issue. Then the interoperability, that is the understanding and insight provided by the model. And other measures are goodness of rules, such as the decision tree size or compactness of classification rules will be there. Now we will see the classification by decision tree induction. So the decision tree induction is one of the method used for the classification. So for this decision tree induction, we will take this training data set, that is the historical data which we have got. This follows an example of Quinlan's ID3, that is playing tennis. So if age is greater than or less than equal to 30, and income is high, and if he is not student and credit rating is fair, then whether he will buy a computer? No, he will not buy a computer. When he will buy a computer, his age is between 31 to 40, income is high, he is not a student and credit rating is fair, then he will buy a computer. This is the training data set which we have taken, and we will train our model according to what we want to find: a decision tree for buys a computer, whether that person will buy a computer or not. So according to the table which we have seen earlier, this is the diagram for this decision tree. That is, if age is less than equal to 30 and he is a student. If it is not, then he will not buy a computer. If he is a student, then yes, he will surely buy a computer, because student needs a computer or laptop for their study purpose. Then if the age is in between 31 to 40, then he will surely buy a computer. Then if the age is greater than 40, then there will be a different criteria whether he will buy a computer or not. If the age is greater than 40, credit rating is excellent, then he will not buy a computer. If the credit rating is fair, then surely he will buy a computer. So this is a decision. Now the algorithm for decision tree induction. The basic algorithm is based on the greedy algorithm. Okay, greedy is very well known algorithm. At start, all the training examples are at the root. Attributes are categorical, that is, if continuous valued then they are discretized in advance. Example are partitioned recursively based on the selected attributes. Test attributes are selected on the basis of historic heuristic or statistical measures. This is the basic algorithm for this decision tree induction, that is for a greedy algorithm. So basically a top down approach, that is the divide and conquer manner, is used in this algorithm. Then what are the condition for stopping partitioning? All samples for a given node belong to the same class, then the partition will be stopped. The second condition is there are no remaining attributes for further partitioning, that is the majority voting is employed for classifying the leaf, and there are no samples left. In that three conditions there will be a stopping partitioning, or partitioning will be stopped in these three selection measures, that is the information gain. In this it will select the attribute with the highest information gain. Let P be the probability that an arbitrary tuple in D belongs to class Ci estimated by CID divided by D. The expected information is needed to classify a tuple in D. The formula is given here, which uses the log in mathematics. Then the information needed to classify D is after using A to split D into V partitions. Okay, the formula is given here. Then the information gain by branching on attribute A, that is gain A is equal to info D minus info dA. Now the attribute selection information gain. Class P buys computer. Yes, it buys a computer. Class P buys a computer. Class N did not buy a computer or will not buy a computer. So how we will decide that? So according to the historical data we will train the model, and according to training of model we will use this training set for testing purpose and for the prediction. Computing information gain for continuous value attributes. Let attribute A be a continuous valued attribute and must determine the best split point for A, that is it sorts the value A in increasing order. Typically the midpoint between each pair of adjacent values is considered as a possible split point and is the midpoint between the values of AI and AI plus 1. The point with the minimum expected information requirement of A is selected as the split point for A. The split D1 is the set of tuples in D satisfying A less than equal to split point, and D2 is the set of tuples in D satisfying A greater than split point. Classification and prediction. Okay, subtopics which we have covered are basically three. What is classification, what is prediction, and what are the issues in classification and prediction. Then we have seen the decision tree induction basically. So this is all about today's video. Do like, comment and share this video to your friends. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to channel For latest update, press the bell icon and keep learning, keep watching. Thank you. Jai Hind.